As many major Canadian cities see home prices slip, Winnipeg's housing market remains strong according to the latest home price update and forecast from LePage. And to help us break down the findings, Michael Froese, managing broker with LePage, joins us now. So Michael, tell us, what is the latest? How much will an average home set you back here in Winnipeg right now?
Well, right now, for the third quarter, our numbers are in, and the average sale price for a residential single-family home is just over $450,000, which is up roughly 2.8% from where we were at the third quarter last year. But the important thing to note here as well is that it's sort of we've seen a plateau effect compared to the second quarter, where we usually see a lot of our price increases in that first and second quarter. Our prices have tempered down since those peak months of the spring.
So would you still define it as a seller's market?
But, you have to really go neighborhood by neighborhood. In broad strokes, we are still technically in a seller's market. We're less than 3 months of inventory, which means if it would take 3 months to eat up all of the inventory if nothing else came to market, and that's indicative of a seller's market. But it really goes neighborhood by neighborhood, price point by price point. As an example, if you are in that average, around that average sale price right now, $450 and under, it's very competitive. Most likely a heavy seller's market. But as you typically tread north in the price points into certain neighborhoods, you get a bit more selection, a bit more choice as a buyer. So it really is dependent where you go in neighborhoods and price point.
We heard a lot of concern about tariffs and the impact they would have on housing. What do these latest numbers tell us about the impact we're seeing here?
Well, tariffs have, it's that T word again that we've been saying for the entire year. And Manitobans just react differently to this. Our economy reacts differently to the tariff threats. Now, no doubt there's been, and kind of will be until we get things really settled, a certain cloud of uncertainty. But you saw the major markets, Toronto, Vancouver, this report shows they've had tumultuous years in real estate. Their market's completely dried up. They're the lowest in sales. Prices are dropping. And we just didn't see that at all this year. So our sales have outpaced last year's sales consistently throughout the year. Prices have come up as well. Now we have the seasonal softening. But so we just haven't really listened to the national headlines as far as tariffs go. But again, there is always that cloud of uncertainty that's lingering around as long as Twitter remains, and we're always one tweet away from having the world change. So.
When you look to the next quarter, do the numbers tell us anything? Is there a forecast you can hint at, or prices continue to climb, or should they hold steady?
Yeah, so we're going to continue the trend that we're going to outpace last year. So we're predicting that our fourth quarter of this year is 4% an increase in average sale price over last year's fourth quarter. But again, it's important to understand, the seasonal patterns as well. So, will prices in December be as high as they are today? Probably not. We typically see a softening in the winter months, right? Right now, we have a bit of a flurry of activity. People are trying to get in homes before, winter comes. And as long as, that winter holds off, please God, hold off. As long as it holds off, like we're going to, we'll see activity kind of remain strong through the fall months here. Usually prices hang on, maybe even uptick a little bit before they soften in the winter months. And then we get back into our spring pattern. So that's what we're expecting to see. And it is, it's boring to say, but Winnipeg kind of behaves like clockwork with our seasons come every year, no matter how much we don't want them to. And so our market it corresponds the same way.
It seems like it's the trickiest for those first-time home buyers right now. They're the ones, in that very competitive market. Any advice for them?
Well, there is some good news. I mean, it has been tough with rising prices, but right now affordability just increased. We had rates lower and our prices have plateaued, which means it just became more affordable. So that's some good news. But the most important thing for a first-time buyer is get a good plan and get a good team around you. So make sure you have a great plan, get a great realtor, get a great mortgage broker that you can trust, that they can guide you through these different markets. Because again, there's markets within markets and sub-markets. So really that expert guidance is super important. And then really, I always say, even in the months where you have a bit more selection in the fall, have a patient aggressiveness. Wait for the right house. Don't just take any house because, it's there or because a parent tells you to buy it. Wait for the right place. But when it's there, you got to act quick and make sure that you go in aggressively. So have that real assertiveness to home buying, because it's not, right now it still is competitive in that, especially in that first-time buyer market. Can't tiptoe into it.
Michael, thanks for the advice and the insight. Always great speaking with you.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.